Oh, well, basically, typically, since it's a joint venture and the big uh, the big player will be the prime media, no? So typically sila yung greenhorn and will take the biggest share starting off in the media, no? They normally take the hit. Just like saying the acquirer actually gets the hit and the one being bought actually the one that gains. 'Di ba? So I think despite my own surprise, this could be a positive engagement for both, no? Again, this could be hopefully it will allay the fears about press freedom, no? I think we will probably try to see that being tested, no? But at the same time, this will actually put prime media subsidiaries into a nationwide scale, no? So again, this is something that in the past years we've seen that most of our networks are Luzon based, no? So this time we're probably going to see something that will try to balance content between the Visayas, Mindanao, and eventually where Luzon is.
Right, Jonas, what about this joint venture? As we were talking about earlier in the program, iba ito, no? Doon sa initial deal that was scrapped, that deal between, of course, TV5 and ABS CBN, which was an investment deal. Can you talk us through, like, kumbaga, quote-unquote, mas safe ba itong deal from the prying eyes of
Safe to invest
our
in ba yan?
lawmakers? Oo, safe investment ba ito?
Oh, well, I think what makes the big difference in TV5 because they're already existing and you already have a market share. So both are considered big players in the business. So it's like saying we want another entrant into the broadcasting business. So just to probably provide more competition. So I think that's where the difference compared to the previous one. Of course, if we were to look at it from an investment perspective, the previous engagement would have been a very good partnership. No, you have good content, you have the existing network. Then it's like just changing jobs, and you can eventually roll out. I think the difference today is. This is going to be something different.
Well, wait, how the share shot up today, is that the normal thing after big announcements like these, or is it irregular to see it, shoot up that high?
Well, basically, the high of ABS CBN was just 8 pesos. So at 7.34, coming to just an increase of 0.37 is quite normal, no? Especially when you're the one sort of being acquired, no? But in terms of prime, that's a typical when you're the acquirer, no? So since they're putting up the joint venture, it just shows that there's still a premium on the ABS CBN. So they will still play a major role, and this is what some investors are looking at, no? How things will shape up in the coming months, we don't know what they'll do, no?
Mr. Ravelas,
Especially the driver,
Yes.
the driver being the new player, no?
Si Gretchen earlier mentioned, no, that House Speaker Martin Romualdez owns Prime Media. Can you give us a primer about the state of this firm? That's the first question. And next is, what moves can we expect from this joint venture?
Well, basically, Prime Media, I think, started around 2007, and they eventually created a radio station, and eventually they have a station in Tacloban, no? So eventually they have very little scope in terms of their franchise, no? But with this deal, this can actually give them a very long mileage. And since they also have radio frequencies for radio, then it might eventually be good for the employees if they take this new deal, no?
Do you think
So
that
hopefully
somehow
that could
compensates?
happen, no?
Do you think that compensates for how much ABS-CBN has downsized over the past years, with the other channels not being present anymore, Channel 2, Channel 23? What would be the effect on, or how big can this company be, this joint venture be?
Well, basically, it has a lot of potentials, no? In the sense that at this point in time, given the loss of the network, people now have a different way of gathering information, no? Dati, there were only two places to go, either your Kapuso or Kapamilya, no? So eventually now, there are a lot of places to choose. So it's a question now of really trying to look at the bottom line, no? I guess what we've seen how two companies, no, ABS CBN and eventually the GMA network, no. When we look at quality films, people recall of what they made, then you think of ABS CBN, but it comes with a cost. Unlike GMA 7, they're profitable, but again, the value that is being generated by their previous films is not as a brand equity compared to what we see in ABS.
Mr. Jonathan, may tanong ka lang,
It's only now that
may effect po ba sa TV5 shares? Tumas din ba yung amin? Di mo nababanggit kapatid kami.
Sama natin sa equation.
Tumaas ba?
Well, okay, I think at this point in time, you have now a share. As I said, in the previous
Okay, sige.
deal between ABS and TV5, you're already both existing players. Diba? You're nationwide, so to speak. But if you compare Prime Media and where they are, they're just based in Tacloban. They're small player. So, getting into the game will not make a dent between GMA 7, TV5, and the others. So, he's going to be the new kid on the block. The question is, will the magic of ABS-CBN help drive this story forward? Diba? I mean, it's nice to think about you're partnered with ABS. It's a question of execution, what they can do. Diba? So there's a
Clear.
big difference between how they managed it before and how the new owners will manage it.